And I would renew my motion for negative inference now that we have on the record that his lawyer has basically said he's gonna plead the Fifth Amendment to not incriminate himself on every question possible.
And I'll note in objection to that, saying the witness that they called, exercising his constitutional rights should not create a negative influence on my client.
I'm gonna just go ahead and resolve that motion. We're gonna leave it a little time. I just want to clarify, we got that, did we get that on the record though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just raise your right hand, and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
Mayor, state your full name for the record.
It's David, A, middle initial, Fletcher.
And tell me what you do for the town of Dale.
I'm currently the mayor, the municipal judge, and chairman of the sanitary board.
Okay, and you know a Chief Glenn,
I do.
and have you been involved in interviewing him regarding an investigation?
I have,
Can you tell us about that?
actually, it began back on March the 3rd. I was contacted with the Commission on Special Investigations about the allocations and everything of, with the vehicles and everything that's been in testimony this morning. And at that time, one of the special investigators had called me approximately around 5 o'clock in the evening and asked me to meet him at that time. I actually met him here in the town of Vale, and he ended up informing me that at the same time they were issuing or serving
On
a
those
search.
objection to hearsay, based on what that person told the mayor, if that person's not going to testify, then that is an out-of-court statement being offered for the truth of the matter, which is the definition of hearsay, and it's not this.
Hey, I will ask you to turn to exhibit 25. Well, I'm sorry, you're on my roll. Excuse me for jumping ahead.
I'll just, again, in the beginning, as I said, it's an an administrative matter. The rules of evidence are typically relaxed. And as far as law enforcement's concerned, exhibit 1, which is an affidavit, sworn statement, and the search warrant, it's not only a sworn statement, but it's a public record, which those two issues are exceptions to hearsay. So I think it's best, and we would submit to you that you guys hear the testimony and give it the weight that you think it so deserves.
You weren't asking questions about a search warrant that's public. I mean, if you want to ask me questions about the warrant, yeah,
Can they roll please?
Yes.
Well, and I will back up. If you would go to exhibit 1. And tell me what that document is.
That's the affidavit and complaint for a search warrant. That was actually issued through the county of Putnam in the state of West Virginia. And this search warrant looks like on Robert H. Glenn.
And what was it for?
It said did unlawfully and feloniously under 61-3-24 Part D, fraudulent schemes, any person who willfully deprives another of any money, goods, property, or services by means of fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises shall be guilty of the larceny thereof.
And if you will go through this document to attachment B.
Yeah.
Was this also provided to you?
It was, later on, it wasn't that same day, but it was later, yes.
Okay. And you've obtained a copy of the entire exhibit, have you not?
I have.
This time I moved for the exhibition of exhibit 1. Police exhibit 1, coming down for exhibit 1.
Oh, I object to the admission of exhibit 1. The mayor did not complete the affidavit. It's not signed by him. It's, who did sign it? Corporal signed it. Corporal were here, he can testify about it, but as to this witness, there's no evidence that he did any of this investigation. We received this document. But exhibit B, we've already gone over with Patrolman who testified earlier. That's my objection.
If I may respond, this is a public sworn document. Anybody can get it because it's already public. So there wouldn't be any reason to keep it out. And I move for exhibition. Is that a yes?
Yes.
So after receiving the exhibit 1, what did you do?
After receiving that, I actually, on March the 4th, after receiving the information on March the 3rd, on March the 4th, I actually held a conversation with Chief Glenn at the time and actually placed him on paid administrative leave at that time.
Okay. Now I'm gonna take you to exhibit 2. Is this one of the exhibits you obtained during your investigation?
I'm sorry.
Was this one of the exhibits you obtained during your investigation?
Yes, it was.
And was this, does this show on that 5/17/24 that the car at 410 7th Street was issued a tow warning?
It does, on the 17th of 2024,
By Patrolman Hawks?
by Patrolman Hall. Yes.
Did you know anything about that vehicle being given a notice?
Not that it was actually done, did not until I saw this.
So your answer is no?
The answer is no.
I'm gonna ask you to look at exhibit 4.
Okay.
I'm sorry, if I may backtrack. I'm gonna move for the admission of exhibit 4. 2.
Two.
Sorry, 2.
I assume that's a public record kept in the ordinary course of business here within the town bell and the police department's normal day-to-day function.
In exhibit 2?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
I have no objection.
I'm gonna have you look at exhibit 3.
Okay.
I'm sorry, exhibit 4.
Okay.
Can you tell me what that document is?
That was a document that, found out later that Robert Glenn had actually put together, for Donna Chestnut to sign, to give him permission to enter the property at 410 East 7th Street to tow away what he considered to be an abandoned junk vehicle.
And to your knowledge, is this something that the Val Police Department does in the normal course of towing?
In all my time here as city recorder and mayor and council member, it's the first one I've ever seen.
Did the chief talk to you about doing this prior to doing it?
He did not.
Is there any ordinance or anything that you know of wherein he should have obtained this document?
Well, I think, before, we would have done anything like this, I think it would have been, or warranted a conversation, and none was ever held.
Okay. Again, the question was, is there anything in the ordinance that requires this?
No, there is not.
Okay. I move for the, admission of Exhibit 4.
Well, he didn't create this, he said. It's not an official document.
Myself created it?
Right.
No, did not.
It's not an official document within the town of Dover, so.
I don't think it's ever been reviewed or seen by the city council to even make it part of the ordinance.
Where did you obtain it from?
For the investigation,
Who gave it to you?
that was actually, brought forth when the investigative thing began, investigation.
I'm trying to figure out how he got it, where it came from, if it's not an official document.
I think it was.
It is,
Go ahead.
it is a document that is at the police department. It was obtained from the police department. And again, I move for its admission. Thank you. And I'm gonna ask you to look at exhibit number 3. Have you ever seen that vehicle before?
Yes, it's been some time back.
Okay. And was that the vehicle we've continuously referred to as the Dodge vehicle that was on Miss Chestnut's property?
Yes, it is.
I would move for the admission of exhibit number 3.
I object, there's no foundation. With photographs, the foundation does it fairly and accurately depict what it shows, who took it, when it was taken, how it was taken. I mean, this, I don't know if there's a date on this or not, May 2022 is in the lower corner here. So, in the lower left-hand corner of that, there's a Google Street View that says May of 2022. So if this picture represents the condition and what was depicted in May of 2022, we're not concerned with May of 2022, we're concerned with July of 2024. So if that's 2 years earlier, then it doesn't fairly and accurately depict what was being seen on July of 24, which is what we're concerned with here. If that's not, it's not admissible nor relevant to our issues here, if it's May of 22.
Save you some time, I'll withdraw and I'll ask you to look back at exhibit 1 and go to the 2024, the exhibit that's already been introduced. Google search image. Is that the same vehicle we've been referring to? And it's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Yes, it is.
And does it also appear to be the one dated June 21st, 2024?
It does,
That is attached to exhibit 1.
it does.
Now, I'm gonna ask you to turn to exhibit 5. And you can look at the screen. But, under West Virginia Code 172A1, what is an abandoned motor vehicle?
It does say there that the abandoned motor vehicle is one that's remained on private property without consent of the owner or person that is in control of the property itself for any period over 5 days.
Okay, and now I'm gonna ask you to look at the city ordinances, Article 361. .07, in definition of abandoned motor vehicle, does it also have the requirement that it has to be on private property without the consent of the owner?
Yes, it does.
And I would, I'm not sure I have copies, and I'm not sure if it's in my. Oh, yes, exhibit 5. So I would move for the admission of exhibit 5.
Just the statute itself?
The statute as well as the city ordinance that you referred to.
No objection.
Now, I'm gonna ask you to look at West Virginia Code, the same exhibit. And tell me what the definition for a junk vehicle is.
A junk motor vehicle would mean that a motor vehicle or any part thereof which is discarded, wrecked, ruined, scrapped, or dismantled cannot pass the state inspection required by Article 16, Chapter 17-C of this code, and C is either not serving a functional purpose or use, and not in enclosed mode.
Okay. And that's an and there, right?
Yes.
So it has to comply with all three.
Yes.
And this vehicle was not discarded, was it?
No, it was not.
Was it wrecked?
No, it was not.
Was it ruined?
No, it was not.
Was it scrapped?
No, it was not.
Was it dismantled?
No, it was not.
Now I'm gonna ask you to look at the ordinance, which is 36107.
All right.
And if you look here at 361.07A2, junk motor vehicle means what?
A motor vehicle or any part thereof which is non-operational, missing body parts, or leaking fluids.
Was there any reason to believe this car was non-operational?
I don't think so.
Objection. There's no foundation that he inspected it or did anything with it to know if it was operational or non-operational, other than look at it. Offer that testimony, to do something to say that it was or wasn't.
I'll rephrase the question. Based on your observance of the car, do you know if it was non-operational, missing body parts, or leaking fluid?
I can't say that, just by looking at everything, it does not appear to be missing any body parts. And, non-operational, have I seen it operate? I have not, but, that would be the testimony that I know of at this present time.
Is this the typical car that would have been towed in your experience as the mayor of Bell?
No.
Tell me why not.
I think because, again, it doesn't meet all the definitions of what these are meaning, whether or not it's an abandoned or a junk vehicle.
Okay. And is it okay to have a car that looks like that in your driveway?
It is, depending on whether or not, the property owner is giving you permission to leave it there.
Now, I'm gonna ask you to look at Exhibit 6, which is West Virginia Code 1724A3. Even if the property owner did not give permission, does there have to be a 30-day notice to the property owner prior to towing by receiving a registered or certified mail?
According to the code 17-24A3, yes, there should have been.
And was it done in this case?
It was not.
I move for the admission. I just move for the admission. Well, 5 and 6 are just statutory codes that I would ask, and the ordinances that you simply take judicial notice.
5, 6, and 7,
5 and 6.
I have no objection to
Exhibit 7, have you seen this document?
I have.
Can you tell me what that is?
That is the road service that was actually performed by Timemark LLC on the date of June 21st when he came and towed this vehicle.
And what does it say at the bottom of that vehicle,
On
that
the-
service?
On the bottom of the road service form, it says, "Don't junk. Glenn wants to buy for junk parts."
Did Chief Glenn ever come to you after this vehicle was towed and say that he wanted to purchase it for junk parts?
He did not.
Should he have gotten authorization from you?
Well, I think he probably, could have asked, but I don't know that I would give him permission at all, just because of the fact about ethics laws and things like that.
Move for the admission of Exhibit 7.
I object to that. I think if whoever created it was here to talk about how it was created and when what was written on it, specifically our evidence would have been, I think that the bottom part was not put on there on June 21st.
Excuse me, he would not testify to that because he has pled the fifth to every single question asked.
Well, therefore I object to this this witness can't admit this document, because he didn't create it, didn't know anything about it, can't tell you what it, other than just reading it like anybody else can. In order to establish the validity of a document admitted into evidence, you gotta be able to tell what it is, who created it, who wrote it.
Okay, if I may, rephrase my question, how did you obtain this document?
Again, it was obtained when we did the investigation, and the copies, actually within the investigation was actually submitted by the attorney, Mr. Blaine.
And Mr. Lane gave it to you?
He did.
And what did he represent this document was?
He represented that it was the tow notice, and that, you know, it indicated that this was the date, this was whose address and everything it was taken from.
And why did he do that? Was there a question as to whether it was towed on June the 21st?
Yes, there was a question because according to the tow log, it said it was June the 19th, when in fact we found out, and I believe that Mr. Glenn actually said in the investigation testimony that this was actually showing that this was towed on the 21st as the letter was written that Ms. Chestnut sent.
And you're referring to Exhibit 2 where Chief Glenn said he towed it on the 19th, correct?
I am referring to.
It's on the screen.
Actually, yeah, I mean, that's what he said, it was the 19th.
Well, I object to that. That document has Glenn towed 629. It doesn't, nobody said that Glenn wrote that on there. They're saying Glenn says that he wrote that on there. That's what the document said. Anybody could have wrote Glenn towed on 619.
Okay, I'll
Obviously, it's
clarify.
wrong.
During the hearing, was it, and I thought we went over this, was there an issue as to whether Chief Glenn said it was towed on the 19th?
Somebody had written on the tow log that it was done on June the 19th. In the interview process that we went through, Mr. Bland introduced this document, Exhibit 7, and said that, you know, we believe that the tow log was incorrect with the June 19th, and that according to this tow log and Exhibit 4 was the letter from Ms. Chestnut, this was actually done on June the 21st, not the 19th. I
Again,
think there was a point of order.
Again, I would move for the admission of Exhibit 7.
Again, I object. We don't, the 621 tow date is not what's at issue here, on exhibit number 7. The issue is, at what point in time was the handwriting at the bottom put on this document, and this witness can't testify to that. We'll stipulate that the vehicle was towed on 621. That seems to be clear. I don't know who put 619 on the tow log, but it's clearly wrong.
Do you deny that your client put that date on there?
With what? Yeah, I towed it, because I initialed that I towed it on that day, but like I said, that day, you know, we have a million things.
You get to testify here.
So-
We're getting a little far afield.
You get to testify here.
First of all, they're trying to keep a document out that his client just said that he wrote on, and second of all, we're trying to get a document in that they gave us. So clearly, we wouldn't have it if it wasn't presented.
Exhibit 2 is already in.
Exhibit 7 you gave to the mayor,
Yeah. I don't.
and we're trying to give it to the commission.
It wasn't given to the mayor with the rules of evidence requirements.
It wasn't given to the mayor that it was an authentic document?
It was, I received it, I gave it to him. I'm not saying that
May I have a ruling?
Yes.
Thank you. Exhibit 7 is admitted.
Of my objection for the record, please.
May I ask you to look at Exhibit A, Mayor? And this is a document from or that was sent to the Division of Motor Vehicles under 1724A. And I'm gonna ask you if you knew if Ms. Saunders, the deceased Ms. Saunders' vehicle was stored at 15095 Corporal Avenue in Cabin Creek.
Not according to testimony that's been given, it was in the Shrewsbury area and not in Cameron area.
Okay, and what was the testimony given to you?
I think according to Chief Glenn, recollecting, you know, how he saw this vehicle daily when he was making the bank deposits at City National Bank on behalf of the town of Vale. And as he went by the Shrewsbury area, I think he said actually across the street from the Liberty fuel station there, that he had seen this vehicle sitting there.
So I have you look at Exhibit 10. And is this the area where he was talking about?
I don't believe it was. I think he was talking about out on DuPont Avenue, but this was actually where Rick Powell actually lived. But I believe the area actually where the vehicle was out on the DuPont area side, out by the Liberty fuel station
In Shrewsbury.
in Shrewsbury. Yeah,
And-
it's very close to his house.
Right. You
Yes.
see the lot behind it
Yep.
with his tow truck? Is that not the lot you're referring to?
No, I don't believe it's where he was talking about. I believe he was talking about on DuPont Avenue, which is out front.
Where's front?
Well, that's not on this map. We had another exhibit that had the, let's see if I can find it. I think it's exhibit 17. Exhibit 17 shows the Liberty fuel station, and this vehicle, I think, was stored across the street from the Liberty fuel station. And I think Chief Glenn could probably answer that in his testimony. But Rick Howe lived back on the 107 Center Avenue area.
And does Rick Howe have another business there by the Liberty?
It's just a piece of property that he owned at the time.
But in any event, it wasn't at 15095 in Corporal Avenue.
It was not.
And the location where the vehicle was taken from was not Cedar Road, was it?
It was not. It was actually picked up at 410 East 7th Street in Bay.
And was Diana Saunders alive at the time it was sent?
Donna Sanders had already deceased, or was deceased.
And do you know if Miss Chestnut or Danny Saunders would have been entitled to that vehicle?
According to the testimony again given by Chief Glenn in the interview, was that when he talked to her, that she said that she was not a direct relative of Miss Saunders, so therefore she was not. Danny Saunders didn't know who he was until I saw this document. And I guess you all, somebody have said that he is the son-in-law. Other than that, that's the testimony I've heard, and what I can repeat.
Okay. And exhibit 9 is this. Are you familiar with this street?
Oh, yes. That's Route 61 over in Cabin Creek or in Shillian. And that is the business place for Time Mark Towing, at that area.
And is that the
Cabin Creek or Shillian.
same address as on exhibit A?
Yes, that is the 15095.
I've moved for the admission of exhibit 9.
And, what you just showed, that's the address on Cabin Creek?
This is the address, Cabin Creek or Shillian
Yes.
area, that is a,
I would just note for the record that the date on the left-hand corner says April 2025. So I have no objection that this is a photograph of that area on April 2025.
Can I ask you to look at exhibit 12, which is West Virginia Code 1724A4? And if you look at B, if the identity of the last registered owner of the motor vehicle or junk vehicle cannot be determined, or if the certificate of registration or certificate of title contains no address, or if it's impossible to determine with reasonable certainty the identity and address of all lien holders, notice shall be published as what?
as a Class 1 legal advertisement in compliance with the provisions of Article 3, Chapter 59 of this code.
Okay, and if you look at the next page. E, a person or entity hired by an enforcement agency to tow shall what? File at the bottom of that an application.
File the application with the Department of Motor Vehicles for a certificate of title and registration upon which payment of the appropriate fees shall be issued. The person or entity may then sell the motor vehicle at private sale or public auction.
Okay, so they can't sell it privately or publicly without that certificate of title, is that
Yeah.
correct?
According to the code, it seems like, yes, that's a true statement.
Now I'm gonna ask you to look at exhibit 14. And have you tell me what that document is?
That's the actual notice of investigation and interview, that was hand delivered by myself to Robert Glenn, the evening of March 27th, and it was a notification that you are subject to an administrative investigation, and that you're being investigated. Why? It's before the actions related to the towing of a 2007 Dodge Ram. And then also on or about June 19th, and the potential conversion of that vehicle for your own personal use, as well as an alleged similar incident involving an Oldsmobile Alero at the same residence years prior, which has recently come to the attention of the city. That was also then that he was directed to appear on Belltown Hall on April 7th, 2025 at 9 a.m. for the interview as part of the investigation.
And did he sign that?
He did. He signed it before I left that evening, and I signed it, gave him a copy, and he kept it. I
I move